Hello, everyone. This is gonna be great. Welcome to the podcast where we ask ourselves, what do you think?
Why? That's what we ask ourselves. We're asking ourselves, why do we? Why?
Why? Oh, you guys are probably wondering what the hell is going on in that studio. Well, first of all, we're not in a studio.
We're in the seventh circle of hell. That's what we're in right now.
So yeah, this week we chose, and by we I mean me, we chose a classic game, a golden oldie, one that I have played many hours together with my my older brother. It's LifeForce, a.k.a. Salamander.
I would have much rather gone with that name too.
Salamander.
I mean, I know they did, but
I mean, the Japanese version is still called Salamander. European one.
The Salamander got some great artwork too. Like, we had good artwork for LifeForce.
Yes.
But the artwork for Salamander was just beautiful. I need to look it up again right now. Keep going.
All right. So, yeah, I chose LifeForce, which is, I'm also looking up something. It's a science fiction horror movie, even. It's not what I wanted, man.
So was Frogs, but that's a completely different podcast right there. I'll tell you what.
Yeah. No, Salamander, a.k.a. LifeForce, Japanese name Salamander, is a Nintendo Entertainment System game released in
1986.
So we're talking a classic here.
Yeah.
And I always thought, no, wait, it's a scrolling shooter arcade game made by Konami. And do you know what the Japanese pronunciation is of Salamander?
No.
Salamander. And
that's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, and do you know what the Japanese pronunciation of LifeForce is?
Not a clue.
LifeForce. According to Wikipedia. I'm not making this up. This is actually what it says.
This is a real thing.
It's a real thing. I always thought that it's a direct sequel to Gradius.
Yeah, I always considered the two linked, but I didn't know how.
Apparently, it's a spin-off.
Oh. Nice.
Yeah, I never knew that.
Know that.
I always had the idea that it was a direct sequel. It isn't.
I guess it's set in the same universe.
I think they're just using the same ships.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
Because you're flying a spaceship.
So, are you the Salamander? Are you the LifeForce? Because you do get that as an option if you get enough of those So you kill red enemies and then you get power-ups. And you can build those power-ups to go... you have options at the bottom. And the more you get, the higher you get on the option scale. And at the very last one just says force. And it looks like a little force field.
It is a force field.
It could be the Salamander.
Yeah, because like you said, killing certain enemies, red or brownish ones, they drop, I don't know, some sort of energy pod. And if you pick it up, then the thing starts blinking at the bottom. And the things that you can upgrade are, first of all, speed, then missiles, then what's the third one?
Like I guess the projectiles that you shoot. So at first you just shoot like bullets, and then you can get to ripple.
Is it ripple?
And then you can get to laser.
That's 4?
Yeah, ripple's like the spray. Because it has a bigger hitbox. Yeah, exactly. It ripples.
So ripple, laser, then you get option, which is a glowing thing next to your ship that follows your movement and basically also shoots the same weapon that you're shooting.
Yeah, it's a wingman, I guess.
A wingman, and you can get 2 in total. And the last one is force, which is a force field.
Yeah, I wonder if you can get 3 options out of the little orbs. I don't know. I've never lived that long.
My memory,
as you saw.
Yeah, my memory says no. And indeed, hopping back to the giggly part when we started this podcast, the thing is, I have been watching Nick play it. He was streaming it on the NAP Discord, which is an awesome place, by the way. You should join.
You could definitely join the NAP Discord. A great place to be, a great place to grow as both a person and a content creator, and watch me be terrible at games.
Are you taking notes, Mr. Ice?
He is. Good. He's listening.
Nice.
We're not going to force you to take notes, but we're suggesting it. So
he doesn't have to, because he has a photosynthesis memory.
Oh yeah,
it's where you use
plant-like.
Exactly. That's where you use the sunlight to basically write down notes in your brain.
Yeah,
that's
pretty much.
But yeah, that made me giggle because there's a couple of things that I want to tell you, Nick, about the game.
Yeah.
First of all, thank you for the entertainment, the high entertainment value of you dying over and over and over again. But let's be serious, the game is freaking hard.
Yeah, it's very hard. It's do they call them bullet hell? Well, I don't know if you could call this a bullet hell.
No, it's not a bullet hell, but it originated as an arcade game, and we've talked about a couple of arcade games already, and I mean the last one was fucking Rampage. And the thing with that game is you die a lot, so you throw in more quarters. And that's also the case with Salamander, because the arcade game was still called Salamander. You just keep on throwing in coins, and they ported that to the NES. But hey, you keep on dying again and again and again. So much that even the programmer, the testers, had issues with testing all the levels because they kept on dying. Yeah, so what did I do? If I tell you up, up, down, down, left, right, BA.
Yeah.
What is that?
I would think it's some kind of code.
But
some kind of Konami code.
Hey. They give you 30 lives.
Yeah.
If you do that.
Does that work on every Konami game? It does, right?
I want to say at a certain point in time, I would say yes, definitely. But I don't know, since they still have released games after the day I turned 18. I'm not sure if they still actually use it. It would be a shame if they didn't.
Yeah.
And they probably use it, and not in a way like, hey, you become invincible, but oh, hey, you remember the Konami code? I don't know, here's my mom in her underwear or something.
Yeah.
Just a little nice
thing. Trying the Konami code out on everything.
Yes. I do know that the Konami code works on certain websites even.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Stuff
That's
happens.
Cool.
Like a unicorn hops into screen, or a cat starts typing. I don't know, silly things.
Yeah.
It's still alive. But yeah, the Konami code. So, had you used that one...
yeah. I didn't want to use this one. Kind of like I'm playing it emulated as well, just because it's easier for me to do that than set up my entire TV and junk. But oh boy, I didn't want to use save states, and I'm playing it as we speak right now. So if you hear weird noises, that's what's going on. Because you gotta be in the you gotta be in the zone. You know what I mean? Yeah, you gotta be in the zone. And man, like you were saying earlier, it's an arcade game, and they designed it to keep pumping quarters into it. But so if it was a bad game, you'd just be like, screw that noise, that wasn't fun at all. I don't know what it is about this game. I've been playing it for, oh god, I don't want to look up
12 hours. At least.
Almost. I mean, practically, right? It's noon my time. So yeah, I've been playing it 2.5 hours straight.
You keep on going.
I don't want to stop, and I am beyond done with this game because let me tell you, I thought I almost died right there. Let me tell you, holy crap, it is difficult. Like, I'm going through some nerve ending stuff that looks like right now. And then the screen, and then that happens. That happens right there. The level just grows.
Yeah,
and like I said,
does.
I think if I remember, because the last time I beat this was like 6 years or maybe 7 years ago, I don't know, but I beat it at one point. I do remember that, and I remember like flying up what looked like a rib cage. Like, it took me a second. I was flying. I was like, "What? Wait a second. Those look like ribs.
Yes.
I'm hungry.
What's
going on?" and then you fight the last boss, and so I think you're traveling through the snake. That's probably not what's going on here because there's space volcanoes. That could be acid reflex. I don't know. I'm not a Konami game designer. Who the heck knows what's going on? But holy crap, this game, there are bullets flying out of nowhere. The game level itself grows and you have to like thread a needle.
Yeah, you have to keep on moving.
Dude, constantly. You're in constant motion, and I love it, and I've been playing it for 2.5 hours straight, and I can't quit.
Because even the first level, if we talk about the first level, you start out by a couple of those brown or red enemies are flying towards you in lines of 4, and if you kill all 4, you get a energy power-up thingy. They put it there so you can upgrade your ship before you actually enter the level. And once you enter the level, in the first few yards, meters for the European listeners, something grows out of the ceiling. Oh, out of the bottom even. Well, things grow.
Both. Yeah.
And that's the start of the level. You're like, what you usually do, like with R-type kind of games, stuff is there and enemies move and then bullets do their thing. And I need to 1 second. Oh my goodness. Nick, what have you done? There.
What happened?
Can I still hear you?
Are you seeing it?
I am seeing
can you hear me?
but I also heard it.
Yeah.
So I was recording LifeForce audio. But
oh no, that's terrible.
Yeah, no, but it's continue. It's the volume is off right now, so
okay.
we can continue our little chatty thing here. What was I saying?
The level grows.
The level
right now,
like with R-type games, yeah, the environment is changing. That's what we're trying to say.
You're not just fighting the enemies; you're fighting the level. And,
definitely.
That's crazy to think about. Really, if you sit there and think about it, that's pretty crazy to think about. And I don't know why that makes it fun. Like, that first level is a ton of fun. And I think you saw me doing it earlier to where, like, if I didn't kill all the enemies at the beginning and level up my ship there,
that's a reset.
Stop, reset. God dang it, I touched the stupid eye goofy thing. Yeah, I would stop, reset the game because I want to go back and get that. And it's just, I don't know, maybe it's just what I consider fun. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it's fun for me, but it's not fun for everybody because there's something, this game is definitely frustrating and it doesn't get any easier as you go along. And, I can't stop playing it. I don't know what it is. And,
I do know what it is.
What is it?
Even though some of the environment movements can be quite cheap, because there's even the first level, there's an area where, like we said, the walls are growing. It's mutating. They grow towards each other, so they basically close off your path. And if you do not anticipate on that, you die.
Yeah.
But you learn. And everything that happens with the environment is scripted. So if you know the game by heart, you know exactly what's gonna happen. So I think that the feeling of, oh dang, they did it again, but this time I know exactly what went wrong and what I can do about it, that gives you the motivation to keep on going.
Yeah, you get that little hit of dopamine in your brain
Exactly.
saying, yes, I learned.
But
yeah,
have
I see
you?
what you're saying now.
Have you learned?
No, because look, you've seen me die the same way over and over.
Exactly.
And that's really
at the
a
same
knock
spot.
on me, not the game.
And that's the other trick that they're using. Since there are so many things that you have to take into account, enemies somewhere shooting bullets, like the area where you are in right now, the farting volcanoes.
The space volcanoes that make no sense. Sorry, keep going.
There's so many things that you keep on forgetting the other crucial thing. And you die again.
Yeah.
And it's not a bad death. It's not a, hey, you know what? Come on, game. Screw it. No, it's
more me. I should have remembered that. You know.
And I can tell you, because I played this game with my brother, because it is a cooperative game. You play it at the same time, 2 ships, a blue one and a red one.
Can you?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. That's so awesome. I love co-op games like that.
It's perfect. And every time when we finish the game, when we defeated the last boss, you get such a great feeling of accomplishment. Yeah. Because, come on, if you can finish this game, no matter what way, even use the Konami code, I don't care. If you can finish this game, it feels good.
Yeah. If I can finish a level, I'm on top of the world.
Yes, and then the shitstorm starts all over again.
Yeah.
Because there's another level.
So, not knowing that you could play at the same time, when you play with 2 people at the same time, does it give you more enemies that you have to dodge? You know what I mean? Like, does it change the difficulty?
Enemies? No, I don't think so. So it will be somewhat easier with 2. But at the same time, I can imagine that there might be more bullets.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So the enemies probably shoot more often.
I wonder if that happens in Salamander, the arcade. You know what I mean?
If they actually up the enemy count, yeah, maybe.
Yeah, because God dang it! Did you see that?
Yeah, I saw it. You flew right in it.
I mean, did I? Yeah, I did. All right. Again, that was all me. But yeah, it's coming back to what I was trying to say before. I was royally ripped off. I wonder if they do that in the arcade port, because, you know, as you see the screen slowing down right now, the NES could only process so much on screen.
The slowdown at certain spots is it's real. Absolutely.
Yeah. Like right there.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. But an arcade machine can handle more. A significant amount more. So I'm guessing that on Salamander, Space Volcanoes, on Salamander on the arcade port, maybe not so much more enemies, but like you said, like more bullets are on screen and more of these ridiculous asteroids.
I do know that the level design is different on Salamander.
Really?
Yes.
That's good, because that's actually one thing I wanted to touch on. So right now, the first stage you play on LifeForce is top down left. No, I'm sorry, it's left to right. It's a scrolling shooter.
Yeah.
Left to right. And now, when you get thrown into the second stage, it's a top down.
Yeah.
Top down. You're going from the bottom of the screen to the top of the screen, and that's cool. I love that.
So
and it's a little change.
You go from R-Type to 1942.
Yes, exactly.
Or
That's
Pin-O-B.
the game I think of. Oh yeah. Oh man, but yeah, and I love that each level looks like it changes in theme. Like the first level, you're going through some kind of I wouldn't say cave system, but like the walls grow, like you were saying, and so you got to be real careful. And now I'm in a cave, it looks like, almost, and
heading inside a spaceship.
Yeah, now I'm inside a spaceship, and now I died, and
now
it's
you're
game
inside
over,
a coffin. Yeah.
Yeah, and a coffin could be a spaceship. Who knows, right? God dang it! I haven't beat the second level. I
Oh man,
I'm
if you have so
starting-
many issues with the second level, you don't want to play the third level even.
That's the problem. Though.
That's the hardest level there is.
I can't quit.
The third one is, it's horrible.
So am I thinking of Gradius, or is this the game where the third level is filled with Easter Island heads?
No, that's
shoot bow
Gradius.
rings? That's Gradius, okay.
I think so. This one is basically you're flying into a sun. There's fire everywhere, and that's not even the worst part. The worst part is not only the enemies, but there's also some sort of like solar flares. Well, call them flares. I'm not sure if they're solar. They are coming from the top off or the bottom, and they basically almost fill the entire vertical space of the level.
That's not nice.
And you get a small hint. You just see a little bump, and then a second later, whoosh, there's a flare, and you have to be right next to the bump, so the flare goes around you.
I do not remember that. Holy cow. I'm going to need to use the Konami code eventually, because definitely. I do want to see more than the first and the second level.
Yeah.
Oh, man. But it's so good. And I love the way the levels look. You know, it was very 8-bit, very Nintendo. Like, it's nothing... What would you say? Out of the ordinary, I guess. It's nothing, like, special or crazy, but it's just... I guess for me, it's nostalgia. It's very charming, and I love it.
They're not bad graphics, though. I mean, they're
really not.
There's like, if you take the Friday the 13th, probably for the NES, those graphics are a lot worse than LifeForce. I always compare it with the other Konami game, Contra. That has, like, detail-wise, it has good graphics, which are on the same level as probably Double Dragon 2, the other game that we discussed about. Those graphics are pretty similar to those in Contra. LifeForce graphics are above that.
Yeah.
In my opinion. I was about to say it looks like Metroid-y, but no, it's even better than Metroid.
Yeah, it's better than Metroid, because I love Metroid, but I gotta say, the graphics for Metroid are kind of rough.
They are dated.
That was a pretty early NES game.
They are definitely dated.
Yeah, but no, it's the graphics I think are solid. I love the ship. And if you look at the little burners on the back of the ship,
exactly, the little flicker of the burners. Yes,
they paid attention, you know, and that's pretty cool. And the design of the enemies are really nice. Like, I'm pretty sure I can definitely see why I got it mixed up with Gradius, because I feel like they use some of the same enemies, but
probably
I mean, that's
used.
not a knock.
Yeah, they probably used some assets from Gradius. Since we just figured out it's a spin-off.
And then after graphics, of course. Oh god, I ran right into that. You saw that.
I want to say one more thing about the graphics, because I know where you're heading to.
Yeah,
the best part of the podcast. But I think the last thing I want to say about the graphics is that it all fits together so well. The enemies, the backgrounds, the active environment, which is basically the level, it all fits together. It's like looking at, I mean, obviously, you know, hey, this is a moving sprite and whatnot, but it feels like one painting, so to speak. And that's probably what makes it makes the game have good graphics. But I also remember that Salamander, the arcade game, had even better graphics.
Yeah, I need to check out the arcade port, because I never played it. And man, if I can keep playing this one, I have no doubt that I would keep just losing money to the arcade one. Oh my gosh. But like right now, the background, I love the background, and it's simple.
It's a pattern.
It's just a blue pattern, and now we're entering that red cave area where stuff.
Do you see how how the world basically it starts at the bottom and at the top, and it slowly moves a few pixels in, like you're actually moving into a cave.
Yeah,
that's the amount of detail that I like.
Yeah,
talking
and
about
yes, they weren't lazy with it.
No,
sorry,
not at all.
They were. God dang it! Okay, that's why I get the laser. I went with the ripple shot instead of the laser shot.
I always skip the ripple. I always go for the laser because it's just one way.
This is because you're a smart man.
Well, I wouldn't say that, but maybe
you're a pro gamer.
No, I do remember when I was a kid, and I'm talking about 6 to 7 years old, probably. My father used to take my brother and me on Saturdays to, I don't know, how do you call that? A park or a playground. Occasionally also the zoo. We had a zoo pretty close by our house, and I remember in that zoo they had a little almost deserted spot at the end, and they had one arcade machine, which was Salamander.
Nice.
And I remember that when I was 6 or 7 years old, I was into video games already, and I saw that arcade machine, and I saw they had that demo playing, right? Arcade games always had the demo of the levels, and I saw the fire level, and I asked my dad for a guilder, which was our money back then, so I could play the game. And awesome as he was, he gave me and my brother, both of us, a guilder so we could play together. And we entered that first level, and then what I clearly remember are those teeth or fangs coming from the ceiling.
Yeah.
And that always stuck with me. And a couple of years later, we actually got LifeForce for the NES, not knowing that it was basically the same game.
Yeah, and you see those.
And I saw those fangs, and I was like, "This is the game. Yeah. This is the game that stuck into my mind."
Yeah. Oh, that's cool, man. That's a really good memory.
Yeah. I did not know that Salamander obviously had very different levels than LifeForce.
Right. That was a rude awakening.
But I really need to dive in Salamander for a proper playthrough again and see what the differences are. I do remember that it's still an awesome game. Saying that, we need to go to the best part of the podcast, which is saying goodbye. No, it isn't. We're going to talk about the awesome soundtrack.
It's so good. And obviously, if you've listened for a few now, you can tell that it's my favorite part about a game. And holy cow, they're so good. I need to figure out who the composer is, because so the Mario composer is Koji Kondo.
Absolutely.
And he's still composing. And man, this is just, it's so good. There's so much depth to the soundtrack, and there's so much variety. That's what I am so impressed with. Like, they didn't just make like, oh, here's some boss music, here's some special stage music, and then here's your level music. No, it seems like each area has its own music.
It has.
And it's just so good. And actually, you know what? Everything that I love about this game, I'm wondering how it is in Salamander. Because again, I've never played it. I've never played the arcade port. I knew that it had a different name.
Yeah, I would say even better.
Oh my gosh, I don't think I'd be able to handle it. My brain would just explode. Because this is the music. Now, you got to remember, we're talking about motherfunk. We're not talking about funk music. This is. We're talking about 8-bit console. You know, it had 4 tracks.
Yes.
There wasn't a whole lot to do with it, but that's what makes it so impressive. Is that it only had 4 tracks, and the soundtrack was so robust. It was awesome what they did with the technology that they had. Like it's kind of like you had mentioned before. They were limited, so they had to get imaginative with it. They had to get creative with it, because they're using the noise track as the sound effects. The noise track is usually for sound effects, but oftentimes they had to use that for the drum track if the songs had percussion to them. And man, yeah, this soundtrack is ridiculously good. I'm really picky with music, and it's one of the few soundtracks that I will listen to outside of the game.
Oh, definitely. I kind of hope that Vomitron will make a LifeForce remix.
Oh, dude, actually, has he not already?
I don't think so.
He's done so much work, and it wouldn't surprise me if he already has one out.
Yeah, I don't think so. I'm kind of familiar with those two albums that he made with the NES remixes. I don't think LifeForce is on it, which is a shame, Mr. Vomitron.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, I bet you, if we were to get a hold of Mr. Ice, Mr. Vanilla Ice, he would make a soundtrack for this game just
to make it more ice.
More ice, yes.
Can he? Is it possible to make this soundtrack more ice?
Should we challenge him to it? He's going to show up soon.
That is true, but it's a tough call, man.
It's already really good. It's already so good. Honestly, you know what? I'm going to be bold. If anybody could do it, if anyone could make the soundtrack for LifeForce more ice, it would be none other than the Mr. Vanilla Ice.
Absolutely. I don't have a doubt that he's possible on doing it. I'm just questioning myself and the creator of this entire universe. Should we?
we were so concerned with if we could. We didn't stop and ask ourselves.
We didn't ask ourselves, should we?
Thank you, Mr. Goldblum. Oh man. But yeah, no, it's so good. It really is, and I'm trying to find out who the composer is now, because
I figured it out who the composer is. There's actually 5.
Oh my gosh, you're right.
Yeah, their names are Miki Higashino, Hidenori Maezawa, Shinya Sakamoto, Setue Terashima, and Atsushi Fujio. I'm sorry if I butchered their names, but you might have noticed I'm not Japanese, and these are all Japanese people.
It's true. 5
people took. Well, I must say this is the arcade version that I'm talking about right now. And I also read on the Wikipedia page, the Wikipedia Princess Peach, that Salamander was ported to the family computer, the Famicom, in Japan in 1987, and instead of being a direct port of Salamander, elements were taken from the original Salamander and the Japanese LifeForce re-release, and some elements such as levels and bosses were removed to make way for new content. So it's actually, I think we can say it's more or less a very different game.
Yeah, so there's 3 versions of the game out in the world right now.
Are there? Are there more?
Yeah, because we got the NES, and then we got arcade Salamander, and then we have the Famicom port. Right?
I think, to be honest, I think there's an Amstrad CPC, Commodore 64 and ZX Spectrum version. There's the Nintendo version. There's the MSX version. There's a PC Engine version. There's a PlayStation and Sega Saturn version. It was also released for mobile phones.
Gosh.
There's 3 arcade versions. Salamander and the American and Japanese adaptations of LifeForce are available on the PlayStation 4. It has been released on the PlayStation Portable, something called iOS, never heard of it. And there's an Arcade Classics Anniversary Collection.
So what you're telling me is there's a lot of ways for listeners to be able to play at least a single version of this game.
I would say there's a lot of versions for our listeners too. I mean, there's no excuse to not play this game, period.
It's good, and you'll know it's good when you eat it so hard on that first level, and you say, no, I need to try that again. Hold on, I know what's going to happen.
I know we can do this.
Because and I think we've mentioned it before that, you know, with early Nintendo games and like Famicom games and stuff like that, you didn't have, hey, here's the tutorial level. So they had to find a way to teach you, hey, you know, all right, kind of like with Mario, you run up and you see that Goomba walking towards you, and if you didn't pay attention to the manual and read the story, you just walked up and touched it and you died, and you learned, oh, okay, so I can't touch these guys. And then you hit the question mark block and, oh, cool, okay, well, stuff comes out of those. What about this brick? Oh, okay, you can break the brick. So you learn with Salamander, with LifeForce. Everything kind of goes back to muscle memory, because you've seen me, obviously, in the past hour and a half here, get very frustrated, die within that first level, and just completely reset, because I already know, okay, here, shoot 5 enemies, scoot down half an inch, here, shoot 5 enemies before they even appear on the screen.
Yeah.
So you're learning, and I'm assuming they're asking what, maybe $5 to buy the game on any one of those platforms. It's worth it. You'll get at least 5 hours of fun playing this game, if not more. Yeah.
I mean, not saying that the game is 5 hours long. It's just it won't take you that long.
The bang for your buck, or
definitely.
You really get your money's worth.
And even if you finish the game, you want to play it again the next day.
Yeah, let's do it again, because you're already learning and you're good at it, and god dang it, it's gee whiz.
So I just looked up since you're talking about the tutorials and the way to learn, I looked up the manual, and basically the first sentence is get good.
Oh yes.
So yes, that's how it works.
I definitely believe that. I was like, hey, so be aware, you're gonna die a lot. It's natural. It happens to everybody. If you're bad, it's like, hey, wait a second. Get good at the game.
Get good at the game. Stop complaining. Nobody complains about I have never complained about the amount of deaths in this game. I never said it's unfair. I did say that there are a couple of cheap shots, which they are, but I don't feel bad about those cheap shots. It's like, they're there, I know that they're there, and if I fail again, it's my own stupidity. I'm a freaking dumbass for not remembering that happens.
Like that?
Like that. Well, this is just painful. This wasn't your fault, this was just you being shot in the butt.
I should have known, though. Like, I already know all the enemies that are going to be at the end of that second level, but I know I need to clear off those 2 walls.
Do you have the amount of upgrades that you need to make it easier?
Yeah, well, see, that's the problem. That's the knock on me, because I can get the upgrades needed. I'm just not getting them.
Yeah. And if you die, we never said it. If you die, you lose all your upgrades.
No. So if you have to continue, because I want to say if you die, it drops you back down, and it leaves you one option that you can get, like speed. You can.
You get one.
Yeah, but that's if you lose a life. You only get 3 lives per level, and then you can get more.
Or 30.
That's what you start out with, and oh dear. And then
also, did you know that if you have the option upgrade, the wingman, if you die, you see it float off the screen, you can pick it up again?
I did not know that.
Hey, so always move away from the edge of the screen.
Holy cow! I did not know that.
You need to move. You cannot stay. You cannot stay at the end of the screen. That's Because you get
Yeah,
respawned if you get killed. You get respawned at the edge of the screen, which is either the left side or the bottom side, depending on how the direction is going. If you die halfway on your screen and your options slowly floats back, you can easily pick it up again.
Oh, that's so cool. And just to confirm, yeah, I just died with like 15 power-ups, and then it gently respawned me with a speed power-up available.
Nice. So you get something. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, you get something. It's you can't. Well, I guess you could say it's a little unforgiving. But really, this is all my own fault.
I think it's a life lesson. It's a digital life lesson. It's basically the lesson of, hey, it's okay to make mistakes, but just don't blame anything but yourself.
Yeah.
Because I said before, every time if you die, oh yeah, shit, it's me. I was being stupid. I cannot blame anything else. I can't.
Yeah.
Not even the enemies.
I should have known that.
I mean, hey, I flew into that bullet.
Job. Yeah, they're trying to get their job done so they can pay their space taxes.
Yes.
And I can't knock them for that.
Or else the great leader will be pissed off.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think we are reaching the time to come to our conclusion, which is, I mean, in my case, pretty clear. Game freaking
Go
rocks.
play it. Yeah, it's amazing.
For a game this old.
I'm sorry?
For a game this old. I mean, it's 34 years old.
Yep. It can vote in the US. It can also drink in the US.
It has been in the army.
It has, yes.
Yeah. It doesn't have to do it anymore.
It's so good.
But it's
worth at least one playthrough, and it's worth whatever they want you to pay on whatever platform or eShop that you buy your digital games on.
Well, up until a certain amount of money. I wouldn't pay $60.
Not 6?
60.
6? Oh, no. What if, do you think it's, because you said earlier it's part of a collection, right? The Konami collection?
Yeah, Konami Arcade Collection. Something like that. I wonder, is it LifeForce or I think it's Salamander?
Oh, are you looking that up?
No, because time is running out.
The time is running out. We'll figure it out.
We will figure it out. But yeah, this is, this is one, I was about to say frustrating. It's not frustrating. It is frustrating, but it isn't. Game.
Yeah.
It's a good one. This is one of the good games.
It is very good. It's ridiculously good. And just by the way, it is on the Anniversary Collection Arcade Classics for Konami Digital Entertainment. It is available at the very least on the PlayStation Store for $20 US.
How many games are in there?
But you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 games in there, and there's some pretty good games. We're talking Twin B Nemesis, also known as Gradius. Salamander,
obviously,
the game we're talking about today.
Salamander 2,
a.k.a. LifeForce. Not Salamander 2, no. Vulcan Venture, also known as Gradius 2. But, so, along with LifeForce, you're getting Gradius and Gradius 2, which we have not talked about, but it's along the same lines. Also, you get Ajax, the original name, or the arcade name was Typhoon. You're getting a ton of games. I would pay... Oh, man. Well, okay. So I'm real picky with money in video games, but that's just me. That's just a personal thing.
Well, let's say that
I think
that if they offer it for $3.99, so $4.
Oh my gosh!
Right, per game.
Pick it up.
I would say I would pay $3.99 for Gradius 2, and Salamander. So that's about $12.
Yep.
And then you get the other games for $8. I mean, hey, it's a deal.
Yeah, easily.
It's a good deal.
Easily. It's a good deal. So that's one way to play it. Plus, you get a lot of extra very good games along the same lines, and yeah, it's just it's good. You get the arcade version, so you can you get Salamander. We covered LifeForce, but you get Salamander, the arcade port, and so you probably get better graphics than you've seen here.
But a different game.
The music will probably sound better.
Oh, know? Definitely.
Yeah, so it's really do consider it. If you're interested in it, really do consider it.
Is there with we're not being sponsored by Konami. I wish we were. Konami, please call us. Is there anything else that you would like to say that we haven't said?
Well,
that's it then.
Yeah. I think we covered it.
I think we have said everything that there is to say about this version, about LifeForce, because Salamander apparently is a whole different kind of... It's another can of worms.
Yes. Another can of space worms.
Space worms. And with that last positive remark, I must say goodbye again. Or we must say goodbye again.
It was a good time. We're going to go play some more Salamander, a.k.a. LifeForce.
Exactly. And as every week, Nick, I want to thank you for being an amazing co-host of this podcast.
Yes. Thank you.
The listeners, thank you for listening and or watching. And I hope that it was entertaining enough and that we will see you back the other time, the next one. When we will play... I don't know. We need to put up a vote.
We got to put up a vote, and you can cast your vote by joining the NAP Discord.
Exactly.
And you can have some fun with us, and you can have some great conversation, great times with some great people.
Absolutely. So we'll see you there.
Yes, we will. Bye.
Bye.